Spotless Stays is back. This monthly podcast series is brought to you by House Planet and Rural Stays Yorkshire. My name's James Farley, the founder of House Planet, and our goal is to explain everything you need to know about cleaning and maintenance strategies for short-term rentals. Today we'll be talking about regulation in the STR cleaning industry and how Rural Stays founder Steph Flint helps property management businesses to train cleaning staff and streamline their processes. Steph, welcome back to Spotless Stays, a new monthly series. Looking forward to catching up with you monthly.
Thank you. How are you? Are you well?
I am very well, thank you. Yeah, looking forward to another discussion about cleaning. We managed to have quite a few controversial social media clips last time when we were talking about pets and everything else. But before we move forward, what was the reaction you got to the series we did before?
Oh my gosh, it was interesting. It was interesting. Then other people started tagging me in posts, and I'm thinking, oh my god, I'm going to be number one, most hated person when it comes to dogs. But you know what? It is what it is at the end of the day. There's always two sides to every story, isn't there? And it's interesting, I guess, to hear from everybody's opinions on stuff. Yeah.
Everybody's got their own opinions, and especially with pets, you're going to find people very in favour and people very not in favour, and that's just the way of the world. All right, then, for today's conversation, then, we're going to kind of rerun something that we did at an event that we were at in April when we were talking to you about cleaning and regulation within the industry. So why do you think that STR cleaning needs regulation?
Oh gosh, why? There's many factors, to be fair, in this. But I think that ultimately regardless of short-term rental, we are commercial, and I think that we need to have accountability at many different levels. And the days of old Jean down the road who's like the farmer's wife and that, looking after the holiday properties and bringing around mop and bucket in, it's not good enough anymore. We've covered many holiday properties that you go into, and the level of the standard of the quality of the equipment is not there. The actual cleaning itself is just substandard, really bad. I mean, you're going in 6 inches thick of dust with some places. Dirty old mops that you can smell them stuffed underneath under the stairs and so on. And I just think that it's okay having checklists, but if nobody's really being accountable at every step of the way, then are we not just entering a different era where there's just going to be more claims, more lost revenue, damaging people's reputation, businesses' reputations, and so on, if we don't have good quality cleaners who understand how to clean, but understand cross-infection, contamination. If people are coming in to stay in these homes, they expect, bathrooms to be cleaned properly, not to be used the same cloth that then they're going to go off and use in a bloody kitchen, or then chuck the dirty cloths, under the sink, ready to use next time. Because we've seen things like that too. And I just think that we need to have accountability. If we're charging out, and a lot of properties that we look after, they're up to a couple of £1,000 for a weekend. If we're charging guests this sort of money, then they has to have a level of cleaning that is it's not just acceptable, but of a standard that is, you would feel safe and comfortable in. You wouldn't have it in a hospital, so you wouldn't have it in a swimming baths, health and fitness, right? They've got to be clean. So why are we not making sure that what is happening in our holiday rentals is of a good standard? You'd expect it in a hotel.
It's one of the challenges that a lot of hosts and property managers out there, they're looking at their bottom line and they're going for the cheapest option all the time because, of course, they want to make a profit at the end of the day.
Absolutely. Now, what I do want to turn around and say is that the most expensive isn't necessarily always the best either, because you can have people that are charging top dollar for their cleaning services and still not delivering a really, really good service. So you can have really, really good cleaners who don't understand their numbers and charging way less than they should be. And so I don't want to sort of like stereotype it to either the cheapest or like, and only the most expensive is the best. But yes, that's definitely a factor. It's definitely a factor in if the owners are not pricing their properties accordingly to make a profit, or there's just not enough money in it. Some of them are, they've got investors to get the properties, mortgages, etc. Then it is down to a cost in. But we need to educate everybody that maybe be either charging a little bit more per night to be able to afford the better cleaning service, or put in a minimum 3-night stay if you can only charge X amount and you know that you're not going to get it within the area that you're at. You have to be able to tweak their numbers to make it work a bit better. And then hopefully as well, if we can educate the cleaners within the industry, then they know what their worth is, they know how to price better, so then they can, as we educate the cleaners, they can then essentially pass that information and that education on, and we all win from it.
To what degree do you think the short-term rental space needs to learn from hotels in this area?
Well, I think there's the thing with, it's difficult with hotels. You've got beds and bathrooms, right? Short-term rentals, you've got beds, bathrooms, communal areas, kitchens, etc. Right? So I think that the beauty of hotels is that you have a collection of staff that they're working in different departments as well. So I think I've always looked at staff and try to bring them in from the hospitality industry as a whole, and my background is it. But I think that if you are looking at how they train their staff, and there's procedures and protocols that they follow, then essentially you've got like duty managers and so on that will come around and do all of them checks to make sure that everything is as it's supposed to be. Obviously, within short-term rentals, you don't have that, right? You're literally relying on the integrity and the quality of the company that you're working with to do them checks and make sure that everything is done correctly. So it is a grey area. There isn't no one fits all, but I do think that if we could sort of look towards how hotels manage their housekeepers, then it may, and bring people in that actually generally care about the industry as well. The more that you care about something, the more that you want to do better.
If there was some sort of regulation, maybe like an accreditation scheme for cleaners, how do you envisage this would look if a cleaner out there says, right, I want to work in the STR space? Is it like a day of training? Is it an online course, something like that?
Do you know what? It takes months to actually build a good cleaner. So I don't think that if you turn around and go, oh, you can go and sit a half an hour course or a couple of hours course or sit in front of a webinar or whatever, tick a few boxes, then after that, then you can bugger off and go, oh yeah, I totally disagree with that. I think it's something that it would really need to be some more along the lines of like an apprenticeship style. You have to be able to demonstrate on multiple times that you can do X, Y, and Z. So I think it's something that'd be quite a longer process. Definitely not a one-day piece of training. And I will say that a few years back that I done training to clean a hot tub, right? And I was sat in a room nowhere near a hot tub. So I got we got the information fed to us about water balance and etc. and gone through it, and we had a brochure and we've gone through. And then after the end of it, I was qualified to clean hot tubs. I didn't know I'd never been anywhere near one. So I then went on my own accord and shadowed cleaning a hot tub company and learned how to clean them on my own time, free of charge, because there was no way that I was going to be able to go and clean a hot tub and know that I'd done it properly. So, these classroom environments are all very well and good, but when you actually put into practice, like, I didn't learn anything that day apart from the academic side of it, but still didn't know how to clean a hot tub. I ain't got a clue. It took me probably about 9 months to learn how to do it properly, and be confident enough to be able to offer that service.
It is really about raising standards, isn't it, across the industry?
Yes.
And how can, if it's better pay and more professional recognition, how can that raise the cleaning industry really in STRs?
Well, at the end of the day, the cleaning industry as a whole, right? Has always been known for something that is cheap. We want to bring new cleaners into this industry in the short-term rental that are actually like hospitality professionals. It's not just about the actual cleaning. It's about delivering the whole service from the moment that somebody lands on your webpage to purchase to stay in your home, right? The whole journey, and we're part of that journey. We need to, however we do it, make it a lot more appealing to cleaners wanting to come in and build a career out of it, instead of it looking at it as just like, this is a job for now, it's a stopgap for me. Because the industry, it's a multi-billion-dollar industry. There's a lot of wealthy people and there's a lot of people that I know that work within the short-term rental, that they have incredible businesses and they're incredibly profitable. And there's lots of one-man band sole traders that are doing they're making a lot of money just on their own because of the way that they deliver their service to their guests, to their clients, and obviously they see the repeat bookings on the back of it.
There is money in cleaning, no doubt about that. I've seen that since getting involved in STRs. I've thought, if I do another business, it's going to be something to do with cleaning.
Where there's money.
Yeah, exactly. Now, you mentioned it before as well, but you also work with a lot of brands. Obviously, you're cleaning for so many short-term rentals through your company, but you also work with different brands in the space, consulting, helping to set up their cleaning teams, providing training and that kind of thing. So just kind of tell us some of the things that you do for various brands and how you can help property management businesses out there.
Okay. So I've got national reach. So I'll travel wherever you want me to travel to. If you are a host and you have just a couple of holiday properties and you're struggling with your cleaners, you're struggling with your cleaning teams, and you don't know how to get the best from them, I will work alongside yourself and your cleaners and build them up, train them up, and give them the tools and the skills for you to literally manage your own teams of cleaners. So yeah, as much as we have our own cleaning business, that I'm quite happy to work with hosts, owners, other cleaners to help them build their own teams. Help owners to get the most return on their investment, because we have, as you know yourself, there's lots of people that are coming into the industry and they may be very good at property sourcing, right? And they find an amazing property, but then they don't know what to do with it afterwards. They've been taught how to list it, right? But they just can't get the head round the operations because it is really, really difficult. So it's very, very varied what I do, to be fair, like from setting people up with just cleaning instructions and checklists, which is very, very basic, advising them how to use the best cleaning products, right? And we're working with people to different costs as well, because everyone's got a different budget, so one box just doesn't fit everything, not for everybody. And we've got to be very, very mindful that something that works in Leeds city centre is not going to work in rural North Yorkshire, and we have to tweak things for each individual to get the best from them. So we do all sorts.
If you need help with your cleaning team, monitoring, all those kind of things, definitely give Steph a call. So where people can contact you, Steph, just let us know your contact details.
There's 2 websites now. So we've got Rural Stays Yorkshire and Rural Cleans Yorkshire. So either one of them, drop me a line on LinkedIn, WhatsApp. I'm sure you'll pop all the bits and pieces in there. Instagram, and hopefully we'll get on YouTube soon.
Perfect. Yes, we'll put all those details in the show notes so that people can get in touch with you. Steph, pleasure as always. Thanks for joining us on Spotless Stays.
Thank you.
Great to chat to Stephanie Flint there from Rural Stays Yorkshire. Get in touch with Steph if you need any support with your cleaning operations. If you're looking for more free education, head to houseplanet.club, the fastest growing multimedia platform in the short-term rentals industry. We're proud to help hosts and property managers supercharge their businesses by sharing a wealth of free content. Head online to sign up for our newsletter, download our suite of ebooks, and listen to our podcast series. Until next time, happy hosting.